At the end of the whole of this training, at the end of the whole of this boot camp, you should be able to design something like this. And whatever it is, anything called graphics, graphics is graphics. Okay, don't mind these things. These are just the few ones that are around my space here. You would be able to design anything called graphics. I can guarantee you that. So I'm begging you to come on board. Let's move into action now. How do we design this logo? Where is that logo? Where is it? I had 3 logos in mind. Okay, this is Coca-Cola logo. This is NNPC logo, and this is SPDC logo. SPDC looks a little less complex. All right, based on my understanding, then Coca-Cola, and then NNPC. Let's get into action. I want to copy this into the CorelDraw application in which I'm using CorelDraw X5 for now. If you have a desire for a higher version of or lower version of CorelDraw, you can still communicate with me. However, we are going to use this X5 to learn. You can replicate the experience whether it is in X8 or 2021. Even if you want to go back to CorelDraw 9, back then, it's about understanding what you need to do per time. So I'm creating a blank document. All right. When you create a blank document, it will be fine for you to do your setup, but nothing is really compulsory. Okay, you can even give it a name if you want to give it a name. For instance, me, I'm giving logo design tutorial. All right, so that is that. Paper size. This is basically, it's good that you understand what you are doing. If you are doing it for printing, you should be able to know the size of media you will print it with. If you are doing it for maybe online graphics, mockups and all that, sorry, I do not have all my graphics. This is not the regular, my regular system is the one that I'm trying to use for other things now. Okay, you can decide the size, but for today, this is not our main aim. When we get into the boot camp, you will learn everything, okay, how to size your documents appropriately. Meanwhile, there is a popular paper size we all know called A4, that is typing sheets. I'll be using that typing sheet for us. The rest of the options, we will do them when we get to the boot camp. Okay, I will explain what each of those things really mean. And here is the CorelDraw interface. So you can see here, walking around here, you see this place called the menu bar. And then we have the standard toolbar. And then we have the property bar. This is the standard toolbar. Here is it. Where is the link here? Okay, I want to separate these two guys because this guy is not part of the other toolbar. Okay, this is the text toolbar. Let me disable it. You can see that one has gone off. Okay, but I want it to be there because I might need it for any other thing. Okay, that is the text toolbar. This one is the property bar. Now the property bar here, what you see on the property bar usually changes from time to time depending on the item you are holding at hand. This is a circle. The properties here change to the properties of a circle. If you draw something like a square, the properties here changes to what works for the square. And all that, even if you type text too, you see that the property here almost becomes the same thing as that of the text toolbar. There is nothing so difficult about it, okay? But that is just for you to understand the property bar. It's more like a quick overview of how the interface works in case you've not used it before, so that you'll be able to know what to do. All right, I'm assuming in this place here you are seeing here is a page. Okay, like in Microsoft Word, it will be showing you a plain something that looks like a typing sheet. This one is just like the drawing space here. This work area is unlimited. There's an unlimited space here. You can draw anything you want to draw, but whatever you fit into this page is what you would likely want to print. Okay, you might also use other options, but this one will likely want to go straight into the printer. All right. Here is the toolbar lined up here, and the position of all of these things can just be it shouldn't be a problem to you because you might decide to put them up, down, or left or right, which is not our main focus for today. These are my color palettes. You can see I'm having 2 different color palettes here, each of them looking very closely like each other. That shouldn't be our problem for today because we are not really fully there. Let's just get into action so that you can gain some value as of today. Whichever color you like, whether you like the colors that are in this one or in this one. More so, if you are using CorelDraw for the first time, your own might not display 2 in the first place. It will be 1. All you need to do is to know which one to use per time. All right. I have not sent you any app to handle this, knowing that you have not paid for the training yet. And if you have paid, please, you would have to let me know. And when that is done, I will be able to get back to you and add it to the main training group. All right. But today, this is how it works. Here among the toolbars here, there are some important tools. I don't want to spend today's time doing this. But let me just show us one of the 3 tools that we might likely have to use today. One of them is called the pick tool for selection, positioning, and transformation of objects. Transformation is more like you move it from one place to the other, you twist it, turn it upside down, and all that. Okay, that is pick tool. Then we are going to use the shape tool. Shape tool is used for shaping objects. Okay, maybe like you want to crop something, you use it to crop, you use it to shape it. Maybe like from a rectangle, you can use a rectangle to turn a rectangle to star, use it to turn a line to anything to curve and all that. This is the work of the shape tool. And thirdly, I will be using one of these tools or all of them. Let's say the rectangle tool, the circle, ellipse tool or circle tool, polygon tool, and the line tools. The rest of them will be explained as we go ahead, but that's not an issue for you. Okay, let's work. I want to design, paste that thing and copy it here. All right, this is the logo that I want to design. I believe that we know why I'm using these popular names is because people that are from different ankles might be able to reckon with this brand. This is a brand called Shell. Shell is, I think, in almost every oil producing nation in the world. So let's draw this logo. How do you start? You can see there's a text here, and then there is this thing that looks like fan. And the colors just difference here. It's not a hard thing to draw. There are 2 ways you can make this happen. One can be just for you to trace. For instance, pick the proper tool you need to use. For us, first instance, we want to use the freehand tool. Okay, you could just use your freehand tool and then try to draw maybe stuff across it anyhow. Just make stuff like this, and then when you finish drawing, it becomes the shape of what you want. That's as easy as that. Okay, then you now pick your text tool here and type shell, for instance. The next thing, after typing the shell, the next thing I need to do is to use your pick tool here and then stretch the shell to the size that matter, and then go to the property bar here, because of it is text. So what I'm saying is text property bar. Okay, let me remove this property bar. I don't need it for now, so it will not confuse us. Okay, go to the property bar here and look for a font that matches this shell font. Okay, a font that matches this shell font. For me, I'm not going to be so deep in everything, but just scroll through the font list. Okay, you will find a font that looks like that font you are looking for, and then you select. And even if the font is not there, you can download fonts from online, from places I will show you in the boot camp. You need to register for this. All right, I forgot to tell you this. Do you know that to design this logo alone, you will not charge anything less than 1,000 naira to do this? And you can as well have some more complex logos, like as I showed to you, stuff like this. These are not the kind of logos you design with 500 or 1,000 self. You need higher money, higher price for this. Okay, now if you have the capacity to be able to design, let me say, a logo, and or maybe get into stuff like maybe flyers like this, you know that what that means? It means that flyer like this now, you need to charge like 3,000 naira to design. 3,000 naira to design. That is conservative estimate, okay, or 2.5 if you are trying to just be a good guy. A good guy, you take 2.5. But reality is that even if you take 3,000 naira, it is not too much. Imagine if you are able to design like 2 of flyers every single day. 2 flyers. You are making like 5K. All right, 5,000 per day times your 26 working days in a month. That is, if you are excluding Sunday, you are likely making close to 130,000 naira from just designing 2 flyers a day. what will happen if you have a place, maybe like a business center or connection whereby people send you work from many sources? It's possible you can make more. All right, that's just the way it works. But these are simple things to design. There are other higher things. Okay, things like brochures. They are not here. Okay, I don't have this. I've not put samples here. But okay, I think I can see a cover. This is something like that looks like more like it was a brochure. Okay, okay. You can get into stuff like this now. You can design that, then design the inside, whereby you charge people. Sometimes one design alone to finish the cover design and all the inner pages, you have charged over 50,000, and you can even finish it in a matter of a week. It's all about your creativity. It's all about your speed and your understanding of what you are doing. Let's get back to the workspace. We are designing shell logo. Anyway, Kai, delete all this. That's not what we want. We want to do something that's more perfect. All right. So how do we start? Graphics is all about creativity. For me now, I want to take a rectangular tool. Okay. There are many ways you can go about it. I want to take a rectangular tool and get this base. I'm keeping this to represent the base for me. I might even want to use a kite, but if you get your mouse to the ruler area here, these things are called ruler. Okay. You drag your mouse. It can even give you a ruler whereby you'll be kited. Okay, it gives you kites. Dragging from left to right, from this left to right, it drops it there. From up to down, I want to make a second one here. This is more like tracing, but using a different space. So just get my sizing properly. Reduce this one to this point. This is the first junction. I'm not saying you will be tracing all the time though. That's the first, and we've gotten that base. Okay. How do you get this small place here? Just pick a small circle and draw. If you hold down Control and while you are holding the pick tool, while the circle is being highlighted, is because the pick tool is used to make selection. You will learn all of that, okay? Because we're going to have one class explaining all these tools and what they can do for you. Make your selection, and then you select this other one to make it, as in you are selecting the two things together. And as a way of shortcut, just press Control plus C. Control plus C. That is for copy. Sorry, I'm not really trying to do Control plus C. It's actually to press C on the keyboard when these two are highlighted. So you press C. Essence of pressing the C is just to enable it to align at the center. At the center. If you look at the distance from here to here, you will see that that point is the central point. So what do I need to do next now? This thing is looking big in my eyes. So I want to just reduce it a little. Okay, that's okay. Join this and then weld together. I say weld. Weld together. And it gives me that little apex. Okay, don't mind perfection for now, because I'm just trying to show you how to quickly get these things done. Alright. And we've gotten the base. We can now get this side that looks like the arc. And I want to use another trick too, a trick of what we call using the shape tool to turn or convert a rectangle or square into something that can have circular formation. All right. So this is it. I'm also after clicking on this, drawing this place here, I now click with this one and set it to the center. The next thing I need to do is just to bring it very close to wherever I want it. It doesn't really matter to me because I'm going to weld it when I want to do the welding. There's no challenge there. Okay. You can see that here is that all I want to achieve here is to get this upside of it. So to get this, first of all, right click this, convert it to curve. While this thing is here now, it's more like a rectangle. Convert it to curve. So I convert this to curve and make sure that it is well centered. Now, having converted it to curve, I can now use shape tool. Shape tool is only meant to edit curves. It edits curves. It edits curves, not necessarily the shapes, as you can see here, like a rectangular shape. It doesn't work on the shape like that way. Okay, it helps you to work on curves. Okay, so having done that now, I now come to this segment. This curve has 1, 2, 3, 4 nodes. Okay, I can come to the middle point here and now choose turn to curve, because already what was it was a straight line. If I now highlight it and say to line, it returns back to straight line. And now put it and say to curve, it gets back to curve formation. These things I'm doing here also are available on the property bar here. To line, to curve. When it becomes a curve, I can now be able to handle it and move. And this curve also comes with nodes or handles. Sorry, these are nodes. These ones are the nodes. These are handles for the curves, whereby you can use these handles to move the curve around, drag it any way you want it, get whatever kind of shape you want to get out of it. So you can see that almost we are done with a different, assuming you wanted to draw something out of imagination, you're already done with something else. You've already gotten a different shape here. And that is how graphics is, because you might intend to do something and all of a sudden you get an idea from what else you want. But this is not what we are trying to do now. I'm undoing now Ctrl Z to get back to my place. Or even if I didn't do that Ctrl Z, while it was still there, I could have said return back to line. So move it up. I want to get the arc. I want to get circular formation. So I now turn it this way. I'm just trying to work to make sure that it aligns with where I'm seeing the other one get up to. So here it is. Alright. But it has to be flat here. Instead I have to enlarge my circle. Okay. So how do I enlarge it now? I want to make this into a little bigger. Holding it by the, I think all of us are used to Android phones. You can always drag it. Okay, drag it by the corners here. While you are dragging, if you hold shift on keyboard, it will stretch it on all sides. But if you release the shift, only the section you are dragging will follow you. Okay. So for me, I want to hold shift to expand it whichever way, and then move it up here. All right, and then recenter it with Ctrl C. That has given me that arc formation there on top of it. But you can see that in between the arc, I want to remove this node, and then to remove this node, possibly reduce this arc to my own test. All right. Now in between the arc, there is this link linking these two together. I'm going to use a rectangle to get that done. All right, a rectangle, possibly just end it around here. Everything is just matter of, then inside the rectangle, convert it to curve. After converting to curve, pick your shape tool, and now how does it look like? Drag all this node, drag it in to wherever you want it to be. Likewise from this other side, I drag it in to this other side. I think that has given me that shape. Okay, so I'll introduce to move it up to match here. Alright, so we've gotten this shape. Okay, you just make sure that everything is well blended. This is just because I'm teaching you, I have to take time and do it that way. So we have gotten that from our second line. So we've gotten this place, we've gotten here, which is here, we have gotten these points, and then we've gotten the overall arc there, the fan. Alright, don't mind my size. It's possible my size is smaller than what we have there, but it's not a matter of size, because you can always enlarge anything you want to enlarge. You can reduce it. What we want is just to achieve something out of what we are trying to get now. Alright, so I want to combine everything now, join it and weld all of them together. There's something wrong here. It's not blending here. Okay, undo. So I was trying to press escape. I went and pressed ES F1. It brought the help file. Okay, so having undone this, I see that this thing didn't join up together. You cannot weld things that are distant apart. Okay, so what will I have to do? Just to drag it and stretch it to meet up with the other one, or possibly you can even get inside it. Okay, let it be part of it. And now weld. This is the weld tool. It does not become one object. Okay, so now we have this one that has the red color in it. Can you see? If I duplicate this red color now, if I reduce it a little, now we have the inner one, right? Can you see, as I'm trying to holding down shift on my keyboard while trying to move my mouse, holding the edge, trying to resize it. Before I finally drop it, I have to right click. When I right click, You see the small plus sign there behind my mouse pointer showing that I've duplicated the object. That's a quick way to duplicate objects. Now this duplicate now, color it yellow. So okay, it has everything almost. It's the same thing too. Okay, that's the same shape it has. So I want to reduce it further. This time around, as I'm pushing the corners to reduce it with my shift on keyboard being held, I don't have to right click anymore. So that has given me that shape I am looking for. I could see imperfection here. All right, I could see imperfection here, but this is not my need for now. It is my need for now is just to show you how these things could be done. This kind of things can be done. Okay, so we're cutting the inner shape there. What next do we need to do is to be able to have these stripes, these lines coming in, because we have this yellow. We want to make sure that this yellow dips into the this red dips into the yellow, or whatever you want to call it, the yellow giving way to the red, or the red dipping into the yellow, whichever way. I don't know how to describe it, but this is it. So I'm picking again. Okay, I don't want to use rectangular tool again. I want to use line tool, freehand tool. All right, so I pick my freehand tool, and all I need to do is just to draw something anyway. Let me say from here, from top, holding down my shift on keyboard so as to have a straight line first. Okay, straight line is not even necessary in this case. Just put it this way. All right, and I want to duplicate it. And after duplicating, it's not even compulsory that I must duplicate though. I move this edge to this other one and join them together. Likewise, I also make another line again and cross it on the top. Sorry, I don't like that formation. There's two. Okay, what's really happening? Okay, so draw this other line. Click on one point, then click on the second point. That has given me one of those strikes I'm seeing there, right? Is that the way it looks like? Yes, it could serve. Yes, I'm okay with that. So what I need to do now is to combine all of them. I don't know if they can be colored. Okay, it does not join together yet. Okay, now having combined them, I pick my shape tool. All right, I can see an option here that says auto close curve. So if there is an opening anywhere, I should be able to lock it up because of the pattern I use in drawing it. Not that I would have used rectangle and shape it, but in order for you to be able to learn things different ways, okay, I have to use lines. From a line, ordinary line now, we have converted it into a perfect shape that has closed edges, okay. So that is it. So I have closed it. The moment I close it, that color that I selected for it automatically became manifested. So I want to move this into this zone. I just have to put a little. I can see that is too much, looking too small though. Okay, I want to move it a little. Basically, if you look at here, bringing your kite, you will notice that the longest, the deepest one, the one that went deep into the arc here, or into this shape here, almost cut to the edge, to the corner here. So in my own work, delete this, I don't want it, okay? In my own work, the one that is going to get so deep is likely the ones by the corners. No problem. So where this one is perfectly okay, but it's too tall. So I want to bring it back to this point. Centralize it one way, and that is done. Let me count this. We have 1, 2, 3 on the left, on the right, then center. 1, 2, 3. Meaning that I need to have 4 of it this way and 4 of it this way. How do I get that done? I can just copy and paste and move around, but no problem. For me, I want to combine 2 functions at the same time. So one is to rotate it. All right, I'm supposed to rotate it like this, and now move it and keep here. That's the one way to do it. But this kind of rotation will not really help me. It's going to be time consuming. So what do I need to do? When I hold it, I move. This place is called my anchor points. Okay, this anchor point is the center at which what you are rotating is going to turn around that center, that point. So I move that point to where I consider to be the fulcrum of the whole stuff. I want it to rotate around this place. Let it not rotate from here. Take this place to be the center of the rotation, the center of gravity. So this time around, if I'm turning it this way now, you see, it follows it like a clock, following that central point. All right. So I have been able to get this. I needed it to be 4. It has to be 4. I can't tell the angle. 1, 2, 3, right? 1, 2, 3 on this side, center. 1, 2, 3 on this side, center. Perfect. So I have been able to get it on one side, ready. All right. That is good. And hold on, okay, wait now. I need to trim it. I'm trying to study this. I think every property looks the same. It looks the same, okay? So I want to trim it so that it will be at the same level as this other one, or it shouldn't outgrow this big circle. So what do I do in this case now? Pick my circle, or possibly just select that thing. Use the shape tool, highlight these two edges together, drag it. Please ensure that it follows the... I don't want to alter the shape. Okay, in this case, I want to double click here to make a note there. Double click here to make another note. Double click here to delete that one. Double click here to delete that one. So that one has gone off. That is one way. Take note, it's more like what I'm doing to you is giving you many ways of doing a similar thing, so that next time when you want to handle it, if one method doesn't work for you, then the next method should be able to work. Okay. The next thing I'm going to do is to intersect. What I want to do is called intersection. I will highlight this and highlight this and go to the shaping toolbar and then take intersection. When I take the intersection, okay, what did I say? Okay, I hope I'll be able to. I'll delete this one. Okay, it went with it. That's not the option I'm looking for. I'm looking for an option whereby my the intersection will remain. So I will have to select it again and select this and go for that intersection. But before then, I want to be sure that my intersection, the unit that intersects, is standing by. This takes me to the menu bar for the first time. Wow. I have to bring my shaping toolbars, toolbars. Sorry, it's long I've not been using all this stuff. Okay. Shaping. Sorry, arrange. Shaping. Okay, shaping. So I have this now. Sorry about that. Okay. So I brought in my shaping toolbar here, or my shaping window. So having selected this and this together, I want to say source object should remain and target object should remain. But in this case, what I want is intersection. Intersect is done. So if I delete this one now, as I move it out, you can see that that intersection still remains. That one is saved. Automatically, I've gotten that angle, that side of it now. So what next do I need to do? Okay, I will highlight these three together and right click on them and choose group. Okay. And after this grouping, this is how to design a logo. This is just that we started with a complex logo, but it's good that you learn that way. You can see that the work to be done is very deep. That's why I'm giving 2 good weeks. Because if you can design a logo that is complex, you could almost do the rest of the things now. You could almost do everything. The rest of the things is just a matter of understanding 1 or 2 things to do and adding effects to it. Okay. Because this is where you spend your hand doing. Alright. So having grouped these three, this is the same group. This is group. You can see on arrange toolbar here we have combine, group, ungroup. Because it is not grouped already, you can see it's not a grouped object. So while it is not grouped, I can pick any one of them and delete or do anything I want to do with it. But when it is grouped, like here now it's saying group, Ctrl G is the shortcut. If I select any one now, all that are in that group get selected together. So I have grouped them. The next thing I want to do is to duplicate them. You see, I have just, all I did was leave them out, move them out of that place, and hold down my control so that it will maintain the same horizontal or vertical line. It shouldn't stray to left or right. Okay, hold down my control and now right click before dropping it. So the three of them followed me together. The next thing I want to do is to do mirroring. Mirror up and down. Okay, there is mirror, horizontal mirroring, there is vertical. Well, the one that I needed to do was the vertical mirroring. And how do I get this thing perfected? I now move it in here. Okay, I can use my keyboard arrow key and notch it. Okay, and notch it a little till it gets to the point, or as well I can use my mouse and move it gradually until it fits in. So I'm notching it to get to my test, and I am comfortable with that. Wow, we're done. We're done. We are done. Delete this guy. So the next thing, having done this now, don't mind everything. Okay, other things are just minor issues. Okay, if I even squeeze it a little, it will become a little more flat, like the main shell logo as it is. Okay, and I might want to stretch it to be big, to be as big as the other one is. Okay, that's just another thing. But I see that this, my small knob here, is too big. Boss man, this is too big now. Reduce it. So I have to select, because it has been grouped, I have to ungroup everything together. Come to this section. It's a shape. Okay, I want to just push some of these things. Delete this node, so that you can make my moving easy. Okay, flatten it off. Okay, push it from this other handle, push it from this other handle inside too. Make sure that I just blend it perfectly while I'm moving into this other side. It's becoming almost flat. Okay, let me look at the original again. I'm still big. So what next? Push it further. Possibly I want to delete this place, delete the node. Okay, so that it just be perfectly rounded. And here it goes. Hold it and move it down to wherever I consider reasonable. Oh, that's good. Possibly I don't want to alter this because I've already done some work around it. Okay, but I just want to do redo the same thing I did there just over here. So I delete this node so that I do not, because those nodes now are more like control points, control units. Those points will control when you are twisting or when you are trying to turn these handles or whatever. It will control the movements of that place. Like as this segment is here, you can see here, this node here controls that. It doesn't allow this, my turning, to affect the other side of it, no matter however I want to turn it up to. Okay, so those things are more like the junctions, the controls. So I am done with that. I think I flattened it a little, as much as I wanted to make it to look like. Okay, that's that. The next portion is the typing. So I picked the text tool. Sorry, I didn't explain what I did. I went to this A text tool. You can see the shortcut for it is called F8. That is function 8 on keyboard for those that are using computer. Note that CorelDraw, you will enjoy it on computer. Everything is better in computer anyway. However, Canva, when we get to Canva, we will do graphics design using mobile phone and also computer. But I'm going to spend more time on computer because that's where professionals do their work, while the mobile phone is more like to help you on the go. While you're on the way, someone just sent you work, please help me quickly get this done for me. You use your phone and you're inside Fego and you're designing graphics for someone. Wow, see how life could be. Okay, so type it here, shell. Okay. The next thing is to look for the fonts here. I have said before that I'm not going to, okay, but you can see the preview of the fonts I have. I am not going to like take time to talk about fonts, because fonts, there are a million of them in the world. Okay, let me just pick this one here that looks like it's not necessarily, sorry, is that the font? Not necessarily the real thing. Okay, but that's just it. When you get to the boot camp, I'm going to show you this particular font here. However, even if I don't show you, you can always look for any font and can as well know how to twist fonts to give you what you want. So I'll give you the color here. and that is shell local completed. Okay, the shell here is bigger than the other, the base of that local. And in some instances that name is not even written, so that shouldn't be a problem. This is this one is the shell local, this one here. So I want to highlight all of them together and now group, or right click and say group. Okay, and now add this other one to it again by holding down shift and clicking both of them. So there is on group, there is on group all. In other words, on group to the last thing that is inside that set. But here I want to group them together so that whenever I touch it, I move it, I have my shell logo ready.